blurb a little shot there of FanFest commercial. If you don't have tickets to FanFest, you should probably get one now. You're not doing anything that weekend anyway. Anyway, back to the entire point of the Alliance tournament. We just found a winner, Pandemic Legion. Guys, let's at least spend a few minutes talking about this. What's the first reaction, Trisbek?
I'm completely shocked. I did not expect Pandemic to even make it to the finals this year. No, that's, Pandemic doing what Pandemic does. They really, that's the kind of thing I want to see them doing in the tournaments, is like just showing up and just steamrolling everything. I said it earlier, and they did it all day.
Yeah. Krobin?
Well, I mean, I'm starting to think that maybe we were massively trolled. Rias was mentioning the Pandemic pilot talking about an overloaded golem and shutting off shield partners. I think they were just trolling us. They're like, haha. They're going to be like, oh, has Pandemic lost their touch? And then we're just going to absolutely roll over everybody else they put in front of us.
That is what happened.
But I mean, Circle of Two, it wasn't a bad setup. I mean, they put the destroyers in. The destroyers were kind of a bit of a counter, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely didn't play poorly. If they came to the match and played poorly, all of those destroyer hulls would have died to the bombs.
Yeah.
So they came in, they knew what they were doing, they knew what they needed to do to win.
Yeah.
I assume that it was just a matter of too much ECM on Pandemic's side.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like they pointed out during the match commentary, they're pretty easy to jam, regardless of whatever other perks they have.
Well, the thing of it is I'm not sure it was a good setup to counter this. And it was what we were talking about during that semifinals match. They showed up with that speed setup and made everybody go, whoa, crazy. But then you don't know what they're bringing to the finals. We were all standing outside trying to cool off between the matches, and we all thought they're going to bring something different still. And I'm sure that's what Circle of Two was thinking. She was like, they're going to bring something so crazy. And so they didn't get to concentrate on fighting the stealth bombers. There are a lot better setups out there for fighting the stealth bombers. You need something, especially they've seen how good this scimitar pilot is. The only way to get those things down was going to be through alpha. And the Abaddon's alpha is pretty good, obviously, but you got to count on that being jammed. The Dami, I mean, with sentries, yeah, it has decent alpha. You probably got to count on that being jammed too. You need to use your smaller ships to get that DPS through. I would have thought that small, medium drones maybe would have been pretty decent at it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they certainly look prepared, because if you kept an eye on the Circle of Two teams as the match started, the first thing that happened was that those ships scattered.
Yeah.
Really fast.
Oh, they knew what to do for bombs.
I mean,
absolutely.
the bombs didn't touch a single destroyer. Those destroyers knew absolutely what was coming.
Sure.
And that was well played, I thought.
Because
I thought they could have lost
bombers.
their entire rack of destroyers right there.
Yeah,
And-
well, that's what we saw happen in the previous match.
Yeah, and then they went after the Rook. I mean, I think Circle of Two knew what they needed to do to win. I think that Pandemic are just good enough that they can stop you from doing those things easily.
What about, I mean, we saw the Rook drop. Did that, I mean, at that point it looked like they were kind of wedging their way back into the game? Or am I being a bit too rosy and positive and hippy-happy?
Yeah, I think at that point, Pandemic still have one Rook left. They still have the Loki and the Claymore and all the stealth bombers. And, I mean, Circle of Two had already lost both of their Hurricanes at that point. And they still have the Dominics and they still have the Abaddon, but the Pandemic team's a lot more mobile. They're able to evade that fire a lot easier. I think, I mean, it was nice to see them have an effect and kill something, but I don't think it would have been enough to turn the match regardless.
Did the destroyers kind of fail in their role in that they were obviously agile enough to get out of the bomb's range very quickly, but they didn't really kill the frigates at all?
No, and that's what I was saying about Alpha.
Yeah.
Thrashers are great, and 400 DPS, whatever. I've never seen one that high, but I have no doubt that you can get respectable DPS out of a Thrasher. But when you're going up against this setup, you've got to be able to break that buffer. And in this respect, the Thrasher just didn't have enough. They were probably autocannon fit. Maybe Arties would have had a better shot with the Alpha. It's hard to say. I don't think they would have had a good enough shot. Maybe if you fit all 4 destroyers with Arties, they all had locks, you all had them on perfect synchronization on their targets, at perfect, at that perfect sweet spot in the fall off that Minmatar loves so much, then maybe you can do lasting damage to those bombers. I actually was a little surprised that they ended up going after the Rook when they did. I think all along their priority needed to be those bombers because that's the damage. And that's what we've seen so many times in this tournament. Once a team loses the teeth to their setup, they can have all the ewar in the world and it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously that Loki and that Claymore, they're going to have some respectable DPS as well, but that's more easily managed than, let's see, 5 bombers, 15 torps hitting you every few seconds, from these bonus launchers.
I mean, a Basilisk and 2 Rooks aren't going to take out an Abaddon.
No.
I mean, the stealth bombers are definitely what you want to go for. How important is it for, how important the Rooks are, I mean, is it important to keep those alive then, or do they play that big a role?
Oh yeah, they play an enormous role, and I think we saw it there. In a logistics-heavy environment, logistics-heavy, when you've got logistics ships on a lot of these teams, to be able to lock those ships out, because so many teams are using them as their linchpin even late in the game. We saw some bait logistics and it was real funny. But a lot of teams really are relying on those. The Guardian, the Basilisk, not only for armor, but for cap sustainability on these laser Ramar setups and things like that. And when you can lock that out with ECM, and when you can lock out damage, when you can lock out tackling, I mean, it's a huge, huge advantage when you can remove any single aspect of a fleet strategy.
Set? How you doing? I wasn't panier you, but I thought it was a bit unfunny. I
thought there is our Eve TV crew coming in here.
Watch the table.
Watch the table.
Watch the table. Be careful.
The table is pricey.
That is amazing because they are very nice people and
Do
we
what
love
you
them.
need to do.
It is also a little bit sad because it means the Alliance tournament is pretty much over.
Yeah. Can we point out who the GMs are for people who aren't
Yes, they've been tremendous.
This guy you might remember, he's pretty cool. He was an expert once, and this is one of our GM Homanoia. There's another one of the tournament GMs who's awesome. And we've got Nova and Horse who are just turning up. Slightly late.
Yes. And we are thanking BitGravity, the volunteers, so forth, but we don't always thank the GMs enough. This tournament has been superbly smooth. Thank you for a fantastic performance once again.
Also, what's up, Steve? He wanted me to give him a shout out.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, Steve!
Hey!
Shout out to random guy Steve.
Shout
Anyway.
out to the radio stations who got us through qualifiers as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peace.
Yeah, come on in. Robert and Marcel are two fantastic
Get
camera
in.
dudes. Let's get our...
They got that fantastic shot
Yeah.
of the 2 Proteuses being
And
all
if you have...
shiny. Yeah, I don't
come on
need
in
that
front,
mic.
come on down to
Excellent.
the table. Yeah, just come on down to the table.
Yeah.
It's nuclear.
Come on down. Steve! Come on,
behind
girls.
these guys so the camera can see.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, girls.
There's floor space to here.
Here, you got.
Here, like
I'm sorry,
right
my castle
Your
is
castle is killing us.
indestructible. If you guys can sneak behind me, just come on over. Come on over.
They kind of look like
Get
Klingons.
the head
Maybe
on
it's a
right.
suppository.
Yeah. You want to find out?
That's a big
Yeah.
word. People that don't know what that is looking up on the internet.
Google image search that. That'll be fun.
Nuclear
Anyway.
suppository.
More people than this
Are we-
set has room for.
Yeah, come on in, girls. Come on
The
in.
people, can I have the mic?
The
The people who designed our amazing set
Yes.
this year, which I think everyone will agree is the best set we've ever had, are just over here and about to be cameraed, hopefully. These 2 girls are amazing at building stuff, as well as CCP Whisper, who's not here, but he assisted in building a lot of this as well. So, yeah.
He also started the thread that got one of the best results of any I have.
Yeah, he also, sorry, I keep forgetting you over mic as well. I'm not Stevie, I'm not a pro.
6 years.
Yeah. Whisper started the "What are
Okay.
you watching Eve TV on" thread. And then
As
it got
much as it is cozy
it's
having you here,
amazing responses.
CCP Charlie is asking us to thank the viewers and thank each other for such a pleasant
Do we
and
have
amazing...
to?
Yes, we
Yeah, we have to. Congratulations to PL.
14,000 of you.
You were in a class of your own, a circle of 2, for surprising everyone. And certainly putting on a respectable performance this entire tournament. From everyone at CCP, from everyone at the Alliance Tournament Studio, thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you again at Alliance Tournament 8. Thank you.